Kal Halalyam La Yahawah Bahasham Shal Yahawah Shai, which means all praise to the Most High in the name of his Son. The Most High's name is Yahawah, which is ancient Paleo-Hebrew, what the world ignorantly call him Jah or Jehovah. That's his only name. His son's name is YAHAWAH Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus or Yeshua, and so forth. Double honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations elect that pushing the truth in the four corners of highways and byways for the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Amerindians are the children of Israel. Also the confusion of faces that looks like the so-called white race, the so-called Chinese, and so forth, but have the spirit of an Israelite and believe and trust in this word. Now, there's a lot of negative energy being pushed out, so to speak. These world leaders are pushing out these vibrations or these rituals in plain sight. All right, and right here in this land here, you're paying homage to the dead and to gods unknown, false gods, and trying to, you know, paint a good picture. But we, the men of the Lord, are seeing all the wickedness that's going on. I just got a short clip of what transpired. All right, this is President Granger, who orchestrated this whole event.
Yesterday, the annual Remembrance Day was observed at the War Memorial just outside of the Bank of Guyana on Main Street. In a brief statement, the head of state, himself a former military person, reflected on the effects of...
You see, he's bowing to this image, this idol. All right, they refer to it as cenotaph, but I'm going to explain what exactly this is. True Spirit YAHAWAH Hashem YAHAWAH Shai.
Those who fought and those who died.
We remember the Guyanese men and women who struggled for national independence and who have given their lives in the service of our nation. We thank those Guyanese who continue to defend our territory and our patrimony.
President David Granger said that as a country, our resolve is strengthened by the heroes' examples and that we are encouraged as a nation. Mr. Granger noted that because of their example, our efforts to keep Guyana a safe zone will remain both now and in the future.
We are encouraged by their example to strengthen our resolve to preserve the Caribbean as a zone of peace and safety now and to generations to come.
Several of the ambassadors and diplomats of foreign nations joined in the laying of wreaths at the...
Of course, they must have some high-level warlocks up in this place, you know. Let's hear their positions, you know, in this Babylonian system.
War Memorial. Some of the wreaths were laid by representatives of the Red Cross, the Guyana Legion of retired GDF personnel, the United Nations, and the Boy Scouts. Prayers were said by religious leaders of the Hindu, Muslim, and Christian faiths.
Hari Hari Narayana Govinda Vaikunta Vasagane Paramadayalu Swami Sasanka Chakkaram Garayuram.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim.
We gather in your presence this morning to adore and to worship you on this Remembrance Day.
Man, what upset me the most? Look at this Jake. Look at this Jake. You know, these sellouts, bro. These dudes that just want to shine. You know, their own glory and think they're actually doing something beneficial to the body of the Most High, the real church, the real Israelites. But you know, the Most High blinded them according to Isaiah 66 and chapter 6 as well.
Remember today the cost of it all, the great sacrifice for freedom. We thank you for the brave who have fought and continues to fight so courageously for our nation.
Prime Minister Moses Nagumutu and other government officials were also in attendance at the ceremony. All the heads of the military services were present and outfitted in their ceremonial regalia. The Remembrance Day occasion marks the event of World Wars I and II, wars which were waged in Egypt, France, Belgium, and East Africa. At the conclusion of his statement, President Granger said that Guyana as a nation rededicates itself to the quest for peace and happiness as a nation.
We rededicate ourselves to the quest for peace for the nation.
For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell
Peace for the nation, my ass. Cause first thing first, World War III is coming and this guy knows it. That's why he's putting out his vibration. He's giving honors and you know, right? Another thing I want to highlight in this video is that you see where where all these trees and stuff like that. This is what the scriptures refer to as a grove, right? And right in the center of that area is a pagan image, an idol that they're bowing to. Alright, so let's get to the historical facts and we'll get to scriptures. This is the thing he was bowing to, the cenotaph. Alright, that's what they call it. See how it's structured. Right? It comes in different shapes in different countries, but this is really what it is, an obelisk. Alright, or obelisk. An obelisk, you know, from Greek obeliskos, diminutive, spit nail pointed pillar, is tall, four-sided, narrow, tapering monument which ends in a pyramid-like shape or pyramidion at the top. These are originally called tekhenu by their builders, the ancient Egyptians. The Greeks who saw them used the Greek term obeliskos to describe them, and this word passed into Latin and ultimately English. Ancient obelisks are monolithic, that is, they consist of a single stone. Most modern obelisks are made from several stones. Some, like the Washington Monument, are buildings. Alright, so let's go down a little more, get a little more facts on this here. Alright, Egyptian. I'm going to show you ancient obelisks in different mythologies, civilizations, or whatever. Obelisks are prominent in architecture in ancient Egypt of ancient Egyptians who placed them in pairs at the entrances of temples. The word obelisk used in English today is of Greek rather than Egyptian origin because of Herodotus, the Greek traveler, was one of the first classical writers to describe the objects. A number of ancient Egyptian obelisks are known to have survived, plus the unfinished obelisk found partly hewn from its quarry at Aswan. These obelisks are now dispersed around the world. Fewer than half of them remain in Egypt. Because pursuant to Revelations, this is called this kingdom, this civilization, this system right now is called spiritually Sodom and Egypt. The earliest temple obelisk still in its original position is a 68-foot, 100 metric ton red granite obelisk of Senusrit the first of the 7th dynasty at the Al-Matariya in modern Heliopolis, or however you pronounce that. The obelisk symbolized the sun god Ra, and during the brief reformation of Akhenaten was said to be a petrified ray of Aten, the sun disk. It was also thought that the god existed within the structure. You see, the petrified ray, petrified means like to turn to stone. But they say that the obelisk symbolizes the god of Ra. So let's go quick to god of Ra real quick. Let's bring up something. In later Egyptian dynastic times, Ra merged with the gods Horus and Haraki, or whatever. Ra, who is Horus of two horizons. He was believed to rule in all parts of the created world, the sky and the earth and the underworld. Pursuant to him giving homage to the dead. Alright, and what does these obelisks symbolize? This is the god right? Assyrian, Azumite. These things are set up all over the world, right? Ancient Rome, different areas that they left, that they Byzantine, pre-Columbian, 17th century. So just gonna scroll through some of these. There's one of the church, you know, yeah, United Kingdom, all over the place, you know. 20th century. You know, these are just the popular documented one. This is a 21st century. There's an erection experiment. Someone wanted to lift up a, set up a 25-ton obelisk, but failed to do so. All right, so we're going to go to this article here, phallic architecture. Phallic architecture consciously or unconsciously creates a symbolic representation of phallus. Phallus, what's phallus? Right? A phallus is a penis, especially when erect. An object that resembles a penis or mimetic image of an erect penis. Any object symbolically or more precisely, ironically resembles a penis may also refer to as a phallus. However, some objects more often refer to it as being phallic. All right, that's what an obelisk is. It's a phallic symbol of, and we'll proceed here. Buildings intentionally and unintentionally resembling a human penis are a source of amusement to locals. There's perversion, you know, and idolatry. Locals and tourists in various places around the world. Deliberate phallic imagery is found in ancient cultures and in links to ancient cultures found in traditional artifacts. The ancient Greeks and Romans celebrated phallic festivals and built a shrine with erect phallus to honor Hermes, the messenger of gods. So they're trying to send a message to these these false gods. Those figures may be related to Egyptian deity Min. Let's see who's Min. Min is an ancient Egyptian god whose cult originated in pre-dynastic period. He was presented in many different forms, but most often represented a male form shown with an erect penis, which he holds in his left hand, and upheld right arm holding a flag, who depicted holding an erect phallus. Figures of women with phallus, you know, which is like hermaphrodite or transgender and all that nonsense and wickedness. Figures of women with a phallus for a head have been found across Greek and Yugoslavia. Phallic symbolism was prevalent in the architecture tradition of ancient Babylon. The Romans, who were deeply superstitious, also often used phallic imagery in their architecture and domestic items. The ancient cultures of many parts of Far East, including Indonesia and India, such as Lingam, Korea, Japan, use phallus as a symbol of fertility in motifs in their temples and in other areas of everyday life. So I was trying to send a message to the underworld for bring back these spirits, fertilize the intentions of war to go into World War 3. All in a nutshell, all of it is just wickedness, basically. All right. So as I was saying earlier, those trees represent a grove. All right, a grove, a small wood or a group of trees. Now let's go to the scriptures real quick. Ezekiel 22:1. Moreover, the word of YAHAWAH came unto me, saying, Now thou son of man, wilt thou judge? Wilt thou judge the bloody city? Yea, thou shalt shew her all her abominations. Now that Jay that was praying, the so-called Christian, supposed to be reading this precept. No, but he take a nice little bag, take a little spenny, you know, hair line up and buy the stupid ass shawl or whatever the ass you call it, and you know, got on his shades and looking all thing and reading from some pamphlet, praying when he's supposed to be praying in private, you know. Then say thou, thus saith YAHAWAH, power, the city sheddeth blood in the midst of it, that her time may come and make idols against herself to defile herself. All right, they're shedding blood. They're talking about, they're giving praise to men that die for stupidness. You know, they didn't die for righteousness. They didn't die for thing. World War One, the First World War and Second World War was funded by the Illuminati, funded by Bilderbergers, Rockefellers, DuPonts. You know, those banking families. Verse 4. Thou art become guilty in thy blood, thou hast shed blood, and hast defiled thyself in idols which thou hast made. Thou hast caused thy days to draw near, and art come even unto thy years. World War III stirring up. That's why things are speeding up. Therefore have I made thee a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all countries. This is just a mocking. Alright? They just using Jake as a means of force, or a means of numbers. All right, and goes on to say, because the prince of Israel, every one were in thee to their power to shed blood. So President Granger, he's in power, and he basically putting out the message that we can defend, we can try to make peace if we got killed, whoever we got killed, and so forth. But it's all falling into the will of YAHAWAH Hashem Yahawashi. All this must be prophesied, right? Verse 9. Just get to the point. In thee are men that carry tales to shed blood. He's carrying the tale of the old world war in order to stir up more vibration. So these youngsters, these young men and women, apparently, they got women there trying to go to war and so forth. In thee, that they may eat up mountains, talking about like governments. In the midst of thee, they commit lewdness. Verse 12. In thee, they have given gifts. Slack, they have taken gifts to shed blood. Thou hast taken usury and increased. The United Nations was there. You best believe that they can take a little spenny, as we say over here, to recruit men for the next world war. Thou hast greedily gained of thy neighbors by extortion, and hast forgotten me, saith YAHAWAH, power. All right. Behold, therefore I have smitten mine hand at thy dishonest gain which thou hast made, and at thy blood which thou hath been in the midst of thee. 14. Can thine heart endure, or can thine hands be strong in the days that I shall deal with thee? They think that they can actually challenge YAHAWAH Bahasham Yahawashi, the omnipotent ruler, the Ah and the Tha. You can't challenge your creator. I, YAHAWAH, have spoken it, and I will do it. The Most I will destroy them. I will scatter thee among the heathen, and disperse thee in countries. I will consume thy filthiness out of thee. This is what YAHAWAH Hashem Yahawashi is going to do. Alright? Verse 16. And thou shalt take thine inheritance in thyself in the sight of the heathen, and thou shalt know that I am YAHAWAH, was the inheritance. Let's go quick to that scripture there. Let's go into that Alright, that's the Hebrew halal. And let's see what's the inheritance, because it's not going to be a pretty inheritance if YAHAWAH Hashem Yahawashi said it for you, the wickedness. Alright, you see, profane, defile, polluted, desecrate, begin. Profane oneself, defile, pollute oneself, ritually, sexually. That's what they've done. That's what they inherited by keeping these rituals and deceiving the people, alright? Verse 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst of thee, like a roaring lion, ravening the prey. The prophet is a roaring lion, ravening the prey. He's trying to pray for the dead in remembrance. You gotta remember who you are, brother. You're a prince. But y'all behaving like these other nations. They have devoured souls. They have taken treasures of precious things. They have made many widows in the midst of thee. Like, for example, a brother might come to this pastor and say, yeah, I want to join the army and so forth. He's like, yeah, you're doing a good thing to defend your nation, defend your country, Guyana. You're not from this land. We're from the land Israel. Alright? Her priests have violated my law. So many laws have they violated out there, and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between holy and profane, neither have they shewed difference between unclean and unclean. He's praying there with Hindus and Muslims. That is totally contradiction. What agreement hath darkness with light and light with darkness? You know? And have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths and profaned, and I am profaned among them. They're disrespecting Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and he's going to mess them up. Seriously. Alright, verse 27. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves, ravening the prey to shed blood, to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get dishonest gain. They're going to put these men up to be sheep for the slaughter. Not even righteous sheep. You know? More like goats for the slaughter. Because when Yahweh Shai bust through them clouds on the chariots and burn them with spiritual fire and with the nuclear missiles, then they're going to really know who got power in this place. You know? Psalms 110 and 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Alright? 28. Her prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity, divining lies, unto them saying, Thus saith Yahweh, when Yahweh hath not spoken. They're trying to anoint these men in these positions, and Yahweh hath not spoken these words, haven't given him authority to go to this witchcraft event. Alright, so let's go into this untempered mortar and see what it's really talking about. Alright, foolish, insipid, tasteless, unseasoned, whitewashed. That's what they're doing. Meaning uncertain. Alright, that's what these wicked ass jakes are doing. Alright, Hosea 8 and 4. They have set up kings, but not by me. They have made princes, and I knew it not. Of their silver and their gold have they made them idols, that they may be cut off. They're making idols of wood and stone and silver and all these nonsense, giving praises to Ra and Hermes and all these other gods. You know, some perverse shit. This is Isaiah 65 and 2. I spread out my hands all day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that is not good after their own thoughts. They all think that this shit is right. And some of them willingly ignorant. Majority of them willingly ignorant. Slakia. A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in gardens and burneth incense upon altars of brick. That's what they're doing. Burning incense upon altars of brick. That wreath what it put in there is another symbol, you know, representing a womb. Alright? Which remain among graves and lodged in monuments, which eat swine's flesh and broth, abominable things in their vessels. They're probably gonna eat some stinking ass Chinese food up the road, not too far from the same location. You know? And Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is gonna deal with this place, yo. Real thing. Isaiah 2 and 7. Their land is also full of gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Meaning that the Bank of Guyana is right there, and they're building up armies. They're building up an army for this new world order. The land is full of idols. They worship the work of hands, that which their own fingers have made. The mean men boweth down, and the great men humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them now. We don't forgive them reprobates. We ain't gonna forgive them. Great men like Granger, these men in positions, this would mean like great men, humble themselves before these idols, these inanimate objects, these things that have no meaning, no life, nothing. Alright? Micah 5 and 13. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images in the midst of thee. Thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. I will pluck down thy groves in the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities. Alright, thy groves. This is a grove. Look at this fucking Christmas shit that they got going on there. Yo. Well, most I gonna burn this place just like this here. And I will execute vengeance in the anger and in fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard, saith YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Isaiah 30:20. Woe to the rebellious children, saith YAHAWAH, that take counsel but not of me, that cover with the covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. They're going down to spiritual Egypt, claiming that they're fighting literal Egypt in that first and second war, whichever war. Alright? They're looking for a covering, but it's not of YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi's spirit. That's why they're praying to the fucking Hindus and the Muslims like spirit, like whores that walk and go down to Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen up themselves, to strength in the strength of Pharaoh, to trust in the shadow of Egypt. That's what they trust in. America. They trust in America because America is all this shit, and Most High is gonna destroy this place, yo. Jeremiah 13:21. What shalt thou say when he shall punish thee, for thou hast taught them to be captains and as chief over thee. So they teaching these other nations to rule over them, but they're blind to think that they're gonna elevate themselves. Shall not sorrows take thee as a woman in travail? If thou say in thine heart, wherefore come these things upon me? Oh, they can see. Alright? We can go to the next precept if I expound on this. Wherefore come these things upon me? For the greatness of thine iniquity are thy skirts discovered, and thy heels are made bare. Most High is going to strip them, right, of the wickedness with spiritual fire, a nuclear fire as well. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? They're trying to be something they're not. Then may ye also do good. Just as a leopard can't change his spots, we were made to do good, that are accustomed to do evil. They're trying to make evil a normal thing, but we were made to do good. Us, the so-called Negroes, blacks, all right, Native Americans, Amerindians, Hispanics, Latinos, confusion of faces. We are made to do good. This is what YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi did. Therefore I will scatter them as a stubble that passeth away as the wind in the wilderness. This is thy lot, the portion of thy measures from me, saith YAHAWAH, because thou hast forgotten me and trusted in falsehood. That's what they trusted in. Falsehood. Fucking stones and things that have no life. Alright? Isaiah 2:18. And the idols shall be utterly abolished. They shall go into the holes of the rocks, into the caves of the earth, for the fear of YAHAWAH, and for the glory of his majesty, which he ariseth and shake terribly the earth. Alright? This is what YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi is going to do. You're going to flee into these bunkers when shit hit the fan. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold that he made, each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats. They're going to throw away all that shit. They're going to forget the cenotaph and everything, and realize that they do a set of nonsense. Waste their efforts and energies on wickedness. To go into the clefts of rocks and into the tops of the rugged rocks, for fear of YAHAWAH and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. Cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostril, for wherein is he to be accounted of? Alright? Stop worshiping yourself and worshiping these inanimate things and worshiping man. You know, I hope that this lesson was edifying. You know, again, all praises to YAHAWAH Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations, peace and mercy to the hopefully elect, Akwat, Akyam, and the children, you know, Shalom, Brakta.